Hi, I'm Krista, and let me tell you one example how to play CoCo Cosmos. Some time ago I was having a group who didn't know each other and who didn't have any connection whatsoever in organizational or business level or whatsoever. They were coming also from different backgrounds, so they definitely didn't know each other. And this is, I think, one of the strengths of CoCo Cosmos. So people who gather around this game board can actually co-create a lot of things without even knowing themselves or each other's before. So what I did, I set up a task for them. I said that if we think about current state of actually at least Finnish business life, there are lots of bookshops that are struggling to maintain their business. So they are losing their business in the internet world. And what I told them that I'm going to give you now a task, how to co-create future bookshop, which is actually a shop kind of like next to the street, where people can walk in and do things. And the next thing I told them that let's see that if we have a product here, and then we have services here, so the products and services card, start to think about what to do with the products and services. And funny enough, I didn't give them any other instructions how to use the cards or whatsoever. There is about 250 cards, but I always say that don't try to use the whole menu, because that probably makes you ill, as you wouldn't eat the whole menu at the restaurant neither. So then they started to look around the cards, and funny enough, they were kind of like, are not so funny at all, because this is what usually people think. They started to kind of like put up that, okay, in a bookstore we are selling books and we are selling pens and we are selling paper and we are selling all different kinds of things. So they were starting to create the current state of book world, how they see it now. And I let them go on about 5 to 10 minutes, and I said, I'm not sure whether you are creating future bookstore. You are currently creating the bookstore as it is now. And they looked at me and they were kind of like thinking that now she's going to destroy our whole game. And I said, well, think about, this is now the challenge for bookstores, that actually customers are not coming in anymore to buy perhaps books and papers and so on. They are buying those things from the internet. If we think about bookstore, for example, 2020, what should we do? Who should be the customers? And then actually I told them at that time that if we would have a customers like we have here, customer cards, think about who would really come to the actual bookstore, and we actually placed those in the middle and we removed the current products and services what we have. Obviously at the beginning when I gave them these cards, I set up a kind of like a positive trap that they would start to do the old traditional way, think about everything from the current services and current products. And then kind of like once they understood that that's not the way to go, instead of you have to think about your customers and what they are valuing. It took them about 2 to 3 minutes. Think about, they didn't know each other at all beforehand. It took them all about 2 to 3 minutes to start to think that who would be the customers of the future bookstore. And they actually named one card that it would be a 6-year-old child going to a bookstore. And quite suddenly they realized that 6-year-old child needs to have a parent who pays all things and who takes this child into this bookstore. So we had a pair of customers. And then actually they started to think that why would they come to the bookstore instead of buying things from the internet? And in about less than 20 minutes they created a world which looks like it looks like a playground, because they started to create services that, for example, one of the services that they created was that children can draw their own books at the bookstore, which after they can print those books themselves, and then they can sign the books, and then they can print them like for 10 to 15 pieces, which they have themselves drawn and written perhaps, and then they can take those to their grandparents, to their godmothers, godfathers and so on. And so kind of like bookstore is something that you create something and you get actually you kind of like get different kind of experiences. It's not anymore buying physical things, rather getting experiences. And this is what I think co-creation is all about. Once you get certain kind of game board and playful cards, it enables you to think out of the box and not in a traditional way, and create something which you didn't think about before. And probably if you think that your company is in a tough situation because of a competition, that's when you need to use co-creation and actually CoCo Cosmos, which enables, as I said earlier, think out of the box and involve your customers. Thanks a lot.